everyone, and that means it's another episode of the In a Hot Seat podcast. And welcome everyone to the latest episode for the In a Hot Seat podcast as I get ready to record for Audacity for the audio version. And yes, welcome to another episode of the In a Hot Seat podcast, like I mentioned. And in this episode, I will be talking about AEW Revolution, which went down last night. Of course, two back-to-back pay-per-views with Impact Wrestling Sacrifice and AEW Revolution all in one weekend, and it definitely was one hell of a weekend, definitely for sure. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I will get down into what happened. And we did actually have uh, quite a few things that went down, especially on the buy-in where we had legit Layla Hirsch in action against Chris Statlander, and basically these two having their fair share of problems as of late, and Layla Hirsch being more as the heel on this one, which I've been liking. That's been really cool to see as of late. And actually, in the end, what did happen, of course, legit Layla Hirsch was able to actually defeat Chris Statlander. It was definitely an even matchup. It could have went really either or on this one, and Red Velvet actually coming to the aid of Chris Statlander and making sure she's okay at the end. So I'm sure things will be able to continue between legit Layla Hirsch and as well, not just with Chris Statlander, but as well with Red Velvet getting into the mix. Then we had Hook being sent, which was cool to see in a different type of matchup for him and being able to deal with QT Marshall and everything, and one of his longer matches to see how well he can go up against QT. He was able to hold his own, which is really cool. And in the end, of course, Hook was able to defeat QT Marshall, which is awesome there. And then we get into the House of Black there, being able to deal with that triangle too as of late. Of course, Buddy Matthews being all elite now, which is really awesome to see. And crazy to see that he's with Malachi Black after those two dealing with their fair share of problems in WWE together with their feuds. So now they're basically in a stable and in a tag team, which is crazy to see. I didn't really expect that to happen. But being able to see them work well together, especially with Brody King, definitely made it really cool. We've seen a lot crazy stuff going into this match as well. Basically, seeing like the curb stop and everything. Basically, the fear factor on this one as well. Just a lot. In the end, House of Black were able to actually get the win over Dead Triangle. So can't go wrong. So that was basically everything that went down in the buy-in. And then we get into the main card where we're just getting started. With this one, where we started things off with Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston on this one, a true test to see how Eddie Kingston would go up against Chris Jericho. He wanted the old Chris Jericho, not the Chris Jericho that we haven't seen as of late. Basically got that and everything. In the end, it almost seemed like, which was really intense and crazy, Eddie Kingston almost seemed like breaking the arm up basically of Chris Jericho like 3 times, and then being able to have the advantage and actually get the win, which is really nice to see. And in a way, having that respect there. So and that was really a good thing to see for Eddie Kingston to be able to be in that type of match and everything. Hopefully, we'll get to see him wrestle more often, which would be worth it to see there. And then we get into the AEW Tag Team Championship match where we had Jurassic Express, Red Dragon, and the Young Bucks all in this one. Of course, each team was able to deal with the Battle Royal besides Jurassic Express and to see who would face them. And being able to deal with a lot too with this. We did have, of course, Jurassic Express being able to come back on top, which is awesome. You either could have went to Jurassic Express or Red Dragon for me, in my honest opinion. Um, but being able to see Jurassic Express retain the AEW Tag Team Champions, I was very happy to see that. And then we get into the face of the Revolution, of course, the ladder match, being able to see who will get the brass ring. We had in this one Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, Powerhouse Hobbs in this one, Mickey Starks, Wardlow, Christian, and Christian was definitely one of my main picks to win in this one. I would definitely lost my mind on that, but we saw a lot too going into the use of the ladders and everything. Everyone trying to climb up top. We saw Danhausen actually getting involved in dealing with the curse, as always, finding someone to curse and dealing with that. So always a treat to see Danhausen on this one. And Orange Cassidy actually having a really impressive ways trying to actually get the brass ring, but he didn't get to do it, which definitely sucks. It would have been cool to see him win, but we had Warlord winning, and that was cool and fair enough. So definitely curious to see where Warlord's going to be going. I'll get more into that later on. Then we get into the AEW TBS Women's Championship, where we had Jade Cargill and Taya Conti on this one, and basically to see how far Jade Conti will go to actually stop Jade Cargill. She actually came really close on this one. Jade Conti being able to have Anna Jay there for support and everything. But in the end, we had Jade Cargill winning and retaining her TBS Women's Championship and still remaining undefeated. So I felt like if anyone could really stop her, Tay Conti would have been one of the people, but I'm not too sure at this point who will be able to stop Jade Cargill. So if you're watching on the YouTube version, definitely know. Let me know in the comments on who do you think will stop Jade Cargill. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And then we got into one of the well-awaited rematches, CM Punk and MJF in the dog collar match. In this one, had in the beginning, MJF kind of like teasing CM Punk coming out first, but he came out to CM Punk's music and trying to get into the minds of everybody and messing around. Also, right after that, I see CM Punk actually having his Ring of Honor music being played and his entrance. I haven't really seen far too much of old school CM Punk then, but I knew of a few things, so I haven't really fully seen the entrance, but I knew the importance of it, so that was really a treat to see that being able to come to play, and that entrance was definitely interesting and everything to see there, so I was definitely excited to see it basically for the first time. Being able to see these two go back and forth, and it was definitely a bloody battle. We did get to see Wardlow actually get into play and to see if it would help out MJF and actually use the ring that MJF likes to use. But he did bring it out, but it wasn't for MJF. It was actually for CM Punk. CM Punk able to use it on MJF and actually get the win. And really cool to be able to have CM Punk be able to lay out MJF, and Wardlow doesn't even need MJF anymore, which is good for him on that. I like him on his own already, so I can't wait to see what else he's going to be doing now that he has the brass ring with him as well. Then we get into the AEW Women's World Championship. We had a new look for the title. It looks really cool. I actually want one where we had Dr. Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa on this one, and basically to see how they can top their lights out match and everything, and these two being able to do it all very close. It could have went either or again with these two, where we had Jamie Hayter and Rebel getting interplay in the mix this time. And yet I thought Thunder Rosa was going to get the title. I felt like it made sense. It would have been awesome to see, but Baker actually comes back and retains, so I don't know what will transpire. We didn't see Mercedes Martinez. I was hoping she would get involved, at least like make it even. But that wasn't the case. It was interesting that she didn't get to come out. So hopefully at some point this year, Thunder Rosa getting the AEW Women's World Title would be awesome. She would definitely deserve it for sure. Then we get into John Moxley and Bryan Danielson on this one, and it's still crazy to see him going from WWE to actually wrestling together in the AEW ring. So that was crazy to actually see that, where we saw basically the chops, definitely for sure, quite a few times, the clothesline, just to name a few. And in the end, John Moxley actually able to defeat Bryan Danielson on that. And then we got to see one of the surprises on the night. Earlier, we did get to see Don Callis basically teasing a return from Kenny Omega. And then we were able to see also as well before Swerve being able to be All Elite. And now we were able to see William Regal actually coming out and not happy by the actions between John Moxley and Bryan Danielson, kind of wanting them to get along. Almost like a Sheamus and Cesaro type of situation to see if they can be able to coexist and everything and form like a tag team. So that's what I got out of those vibes as well. So not too sure how long William Regal is going to stick around, but if he's going to be technically in a way managing them or something like that, or just being able to give him more, not so much advice, but being able to hype them up bit more on this and to see how things will transpire. So really awesome, and it's a nice surprise to see William Regal in AEW. And then we get into the Hardy family office taking on Darby Allin's team with Sammy Guevara and Sting. This one definitely got crazy, being able to fight in the fans and everything. We saw that spot too on the stage too, which was really crazy. By Private Party and Matt Hardy on that one onto the table, which unfortunately didn't break, which is scary. So hopefully things are okay with that between all of them there. So that was intense for sure. It was also crazy Sting doing like that dive too onto where the fans were on the high platform and being able to do the splash dive really onto the ladder onto Andrade. That was crazy. Sting showing he's got it basically what Christian Cage was able to do before. So that was really intense. And of course, Darby Allin's team able to get the win, so can't go wrong with that. So that was definitely crazy to say the least. And then we got the main event. We got the AEW World Heavyweight Championship on the line between the two Adams, Hangman Adam Page and as well Adam Cole on this one. And at some point over time, we did get to see Red Dragon trying to help out Adam Cole and everything. The Dark Order coming out, making it even, and helping out Adam Page. On this one, I thought at times Adam Cole was actually going to get the win, but Adam Page was able to come back, I believe, with the clothesline and actually remain world champion. So we'll see where things, if they are going to continue on that. That remains to be seen. But again, another enjoyable pay-per-view this time for AEW. So a really cool weekend overall as a whole. I actually enjoyed it, and this is so far one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. We'll see what we able to top that since we got Double or Nothing for the next pay-per-view for AEW. So we'll see what happens there. So those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? If you're watching on YouTube, leave your comments. I really appreciate that. Leave a like, subscribe, and as well hit the notification bell. That always helps out with the channel as always. So I appreciate the love and support. And I'm hoping to get what to go on subscribers to keep on climbing there for the Hot Seat Podcast official. Check out the other social media on Twitter, on TikTok now as well for updates for Instagram as well. And of course on Anchor and Spotify on that. Trying to get things out with the emotions and everything because it was just a crazy weekend and trying to talk. So definitely, like I said, we're on Anchor and Spotify, so definitely check that out for the audio versions as always. So until then, that about does it for the doubleheader basically between for Sacrifice for Impact Wrestling and AEW Revolution, and I will be back for the NWA Crockett Cup. That would be for 2 nights for that, so I'll be back on the following Monday and talk about when we're down and who won the NWA Crockett Cup on that. So that'll be it for me for right now. Thank you for watching the next episode for the In the Hot Seat podcast. Hopefully enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. Until then, I'll catch you guys whenever the hell that next podcast may be. Until then, I'll see you then. Peace.